Good morning and welcome back. Today is Thursday, March 14th. I'm glad you're with us today. For lunch today, we will be having chicken tenders, a roll, mashed potatoes, and salad. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, we have egg and cheese bagels. I want to read to you some statistics from our accelerated reader quizzes. I want to read the list of students from each class who have passed the most accelerated reader quizzes. So it means they've taken the test on the book and they've made a good score on that test. So in Mr. Jackson's class, the student with the most quizzes passed is Nelson Sawyer. Mrs. Baumhager's room, Eulaine Ware. Mrs. Breeze's class, Emilio Mirquez. Mrs. Cantley's class is Arabella Plemons. Mrs. Christ, Aria Rogers, got that right, sorry. Mrs. Edwards' class, Haven Deering. Ms. Harwood's room is Michaela Linville. Ms. Hart's class, Carter Allen. Mrs. Marcus's class, Madison Hawkins. Mrs. Mayer's room, Finley Garrison. In Mrs. Merrill's class, Audrey Lee. In Mrs. Ogle's room, there is a tie between Reagan Curry and Zamari Williams-Bray. Ms. Parks's class is Timothy Franzen. Mrs. Phelps's room, Tariah Turner. In Mrs. Plummer's class, Zaylin Graham. In Mrs. Sledge's room, Robert Grady. In Ms. Bolt's class is Jessica Lee. Ms. Brose's class, Andrew Van Avery. In Ms. Rains's class, Elias Telez. And Ms. Sanders' room is Carol Sawyer. Ms. Thompson's class, Owen Hawkins. And the top three of all of those students, in third place, a second grader, Tariah Turner, with 81 past quizzes. That's awesome. In second place, we have with 113 quizzes, first grader, Zaylin Graham. Zaylin, that's impressive. And in first place with 137 past quizzes so far this year, we have third grader, Eulaine Ware. That's amazing. I am so proud of all of you. Keep working hard. As an update to our March Madness, at the time of recording this video, I do not have the winner between Coco's Kitten and Manfish, but we'll find out, and the next time we meet, we'll have that information for you. And today, the competition is between the books Polar Bear and Night Flight. All right, and we want to wish a happy birthday today to Briar Bennett, Brantley Ferguson, and Tucker Sloan. Y'all have great birthdays today. All right, Mr. Clark and Shaquan.
Thank you, Mrs. Kessler, and good morning, everyone. And before I forget, I've been wanting to remind you all to make sure you're out there selling those calendar fundraiser tickets if you can. If your families have any questions about that fundraiser, tell them to feel free to write a letter in. We can try to answer that for you, to call the office, send an email. We have had quite a few questions, and we'd be happy to answer those for your families if they're not real sure how that works. We have plenty of copies in the office that you are able to come and pick up if you need more. We have all kinds of prizes available for the drawing for the calendar fundraiser. This is a MetaQuest 2, which is virtual reality headset with the controllers as well. We have an Xbox Series S, we have a Nintendo Switch Lite, we have an Amazon Fire TV, and it just goes on and on and on. And again, to be able to enter in the drawing for that, you have to sell some of those, or even purchase one yourself, from at home, one of your family members, and then your name will go into that drawing. So, anyway, I know we've said a lot today. Before we move forward with our interesting fact and everything, we're going to go ahead and stand, place our hands over our hearts, and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and we do have Shaquan here, and he has an interesting fact to share with you all.
Jellyfishes are older than dinosaurs. They are fossils from over 5 million years ago, and scientists believe that they might have been around for 7 million years, making them hundreds of millions older than dinosaurs. Jellyfishes don't have a brain, a heart, or lungs. They don't need lungs as they operate oxygen through their skin. They don't have a heart as they do not have blood. Instead of a brain, they use the nervous.
Okay. Thank you, Shaquan. And yeah, we thought that was pretty interesting. And what a nice job reading, buddy. Second grader Shaquan, what a nice job reading. Last but not least, today is March 14th. It is National Pie Day. P-I, not P-I-E. You'll have to have your teachers explain that to you. Have a great day, everyone.